Whoa, it's June and we're doing a track speed video. What happened? All right, hey, we actually have like a little bit of good beer here today. Not too bad, huh? I've never done the audio recording in here before, so hopefully it's not too terrible. What are we doing? Does my head freaking keep getting bigger? Yet extra large helmet isn't big enough. Wow, it is June and some big stuff happened in the snowmobile world. It's not like technology stuff. It's more like it's legal stuff is what happened. All right, grab your cheap beer, or in this case, premium domestic beer, and we'll get right into it. So for those of you who don't know, Arctic Cat is in the middle of a lawsuit, and it looks like that lawsuit just finally wrapped up just this last Monday. Oh man, I love these reporters who get an assignment and they have like no idea anything about the topic. Wow, this picture really tells the story. It doesn't even apply to what they're showing. Lawsuit has to do with the structure of the frame of a Rev chassis, and they have this looks like a Skidoo Scandic right here. Yes, mainstream media gets it right again. Oh man, you know it's just some poor schlub who knows nothing about snowmobiles who had to write this article. That's it, that's the entire article. It's like 2 paragraphs. Oh, look at the bottom here. Oh, I love these pictures of Trudeau. It's like, oh, he's a hero. Look how wonderful and brave he is. I mean, look at my YouTube feed. It's like the same stupid picture of him every time. I love how we're in this time of social reform, and we look at like the Black Lives Matter movement, and then him getting questioned on it.
What message do you think you're sending?
I love this because it's just like, hey, you know what you did. Man, there's a man who is just like, what are we talking about? What was this video supposed to be about? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Just this last Monday, Arctic Cat has now been officially declared to pay damages to Skidoo of about $3 million, just a little less than $3 million in patent infringement over the type of chassis they've been using. Yeah, Skidoo's claiming patent over their pyridymal chassis design. This has been an ongoing thing with Skidoo and Arctic Cat, battling this out for quite a while now. This suit was first launched in 2011 actually, and it's just finally all coming to fruition right now. Arctic Cat and Skidoo are both not saying which models exactly this affects, but if we look at the lawsuit that was filed in 2011, well, 2011 is right when the sales would have started for their 2012 lineup, which would have been the Pro Climb, and if you look at the Pro Climb next to the Skidoo Rev, there's some obvious similarities. I mean, when you look at it, and even throw Polaris in there too, everything looks like a Skidoo Rev now. Skidoo really did pave the way for the rider forward position, and everybody took after that. Now Cat was the one who got nailed for it. Roll around 2015, Arctic Cat had 4 separate patent infringements against it filed by Skidoo. It was in 2017 that these all finally got resolved and basically thrown out of court. Arctic Cat was found to have no key similarities as the Skidoo chassis. So in 2017, the court was found in favor of Arctic Cat, and all the charges were dropped, and that's the end of the story. Thanks everybody for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, hold on. I'm getting news. I have to put my whole hand cut over the headset like the newsmen do. Like when new news is coming in, like breaking news. Oh, me cannot believe it. 2018 BRP reopened the case, filing an appeal against the verdict that was delivered in 2017 against Arctic Cat. So the case was reopened. BRP didn't bother with any of the other patents. BRP went right for the pyramidal chassis design that Arctic Cat had implemented in certain units. Now, BRP and Arctic Cat are not disclosing which units these are, but the 2002 was the first release of the Rev chassis, and that's what this dates back to in the Skidoo patent. And for Arctic Cat, this first became a problem for them in 2011, which is right when their 2012 Pro Climb models as well as XF models were being showcased and delivered and sold to customers. So it's pretty easy to infer that the Pro Climb is the problem, since this was something that was filed in 2011 when the 2012 models were being sold. So as of just this past Monday, the 15th of June, 2020, the case was turned over saying, yeah, you know what? Arctic Cat did infringe on the patent. And it came down to not only the structure of the pyramidal design, it also came down to the area where the engine sits, the cradle for the engine. Now, the first time it went to court, Arctic Cat was able to get out of it because they said our design does not incorporate the same cradle for the engine as Skidoo's pyramidal chassis. BRP brought it back to court, and now it's been turned over as of just a few days ago. Now, BRP has been awarded a royalty having to be paid by Arctic Cat for over $130 for each affected model sold. So this is in Canada only. That's very important to note, that this is only a lawsuit that's happening within Canada. But for the affected models and the affected years, we're looking at over 20,000 sleds that Arctic Cat has sold at a royalty of $135 each. And that all adds up to about $2.83 million that Arctic Cat is now responsible for paying Skidoo in damages. So that $2.8 million that Skidoo is now getting for Arctic Cat is coming from a company that's already struggling with their footing in the market. They're already not really having a good time, and now they owe Skidoo another $3 million. Now, Arctic Cat is going back and appealing the case, and they're hoping to have it done in the next 3 days before this injunction is taking effect. Now, the injunction takes effect on July the 6th of this year, 2020, and if they don't have it resolved by then, Arctic Cat is going to be having to pay almost $3 million out of their own pocket to Skidoo. Now, that only counts between the sleds that were sold, the affected models that are infringing on the patent. That only affects the ones that were sold between 2011 and March of 2014. So they're getting that $3 million just for those specific years. So what does that mean for Arctic Cat? So basically, if Skidoo decides to go after them again, they can still claim all those models that were sold from 2014 and up. And assuming it's the Pro Climb and the XF chassis, and I'm gonna say it's even well into the Ascender chassis, because when you look at the two models, the Pro Climb and the Ascender, they're built on the same chassis. The frame is pretty much identical, except for some small, tiny little changes, some small, tiny little tweaks. So I can imagine that if BRP decides to go after Cat again for additional damages, they are going to be able to claim everything from that 2014 deadline all the way up to today's units. Because if it is the Pro Climb chassis, which really is the Ascender chassis, all these units are going to be affected. And though they're not saying exactly what units are affected, when we look at the timelines and the model releases, we can pretty much infer that the Pro Climb is the problem. So what does that mean is Skidoo could still be getting a whole bunch of money from Arctic Cat yet. Arctic Cat's already not doing all that well. So what does this mean for Arctic Cat this coming year? Well, since Arctic Cat is based out of the US and this is mainly a Canadian claim, they're just going to keep producing their sleds, and it could be questionable about what they sell to Canada coming up. Because if this is the Pro Climb, the Ascender chassis, they could be on the hook for a big bill if they continue to sell them here. Could this be the end of Arctic Cat? I doubt it, but it is a good excuse for them to start maybe developing a little more technology. Like the Ascender, sure, it's great, but maybe it's time to get away from that old Pro Climb chassis and develop something completely new. Something that's even something that's not going to infringe on patents that are already in place. Dealers are already hurting enough. Textron Arctic Cat is already hurting enough. Maybe this is the straw that breaks the camel's back and put Arctic Cat under. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Is it fair? Isn't it? I'm going to kind of keep an eye on this case, especially over the next few weeks here, and we'll see what develops on it. All right, thanks everybody for watching today's video. If you happen to like today's video, hit subscribe down below. Like the video. Patreon, thanks to all the patrons who have helped support content. Merch links in the description. We have plans for snowmobiles. We have plans for trikes. Tons of stuff going on. It just hasn't been done yet. I'm going to keep an eye on this, and we will see everybody in the next video. All right, bye everybody. Looks like I think this seal seized up.
But this is right at the bottom.
Well, that's just the cap.